What's
Yo,
up? Going on?
just doing good. How are you?
Hanging in there, as per
Yes, sir.
usual. All right. Okay. Let me share my screen for you. So I just went ahead and
Yep.
copy pasted your notes in your document because like I said, I'll plan to post this to YouTube if everything works out. So I kind of
Yep.
want people to be able to see like the questions you asked,
hmm
and all that good stuff. So we'll just start by answering all of this, and then we'll go into the gameplay and stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. So the first thing you have asked here is, yeah. So we already touched on this, the VOD review stuff. Like I said, I think 2 hours of VOD review, 6 hours of gameplay. If you want to like kind of
Yeah.
devote time, I think it's more realistic. Practice like that. Okay, he said, I feel like a weak point in my game is macro and mental. When I was Silver 3, I would feel fine when I get to Gold 1, I'm nervous. Have some mental aspects of the game, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, so a lot of mental. I understand this issue because a lot of what happens whenever you get to a new rank is you do get a little more, like, intimidated, if you will.
Yeah.
Um, as far as coping with that, like, I think for now, you just need to understand that, like, the players you're going to be playing against in these new elos really aren't that much better.
Yeah.
And so obviously you've probably had that thought and it probably doesn't help, but I don't know. For me, the way I like to look at it, it always helps is like, since I want to improve so much, it's like I would love to play against these better players. So the more I rank
Yeah.
up, I do get a little nervous also. Well, I used to, I should say. But I was like excited. I was like, yeah, let's do it. We're getting to better
Yeah.
elos. Let's go. So I think you should try to figure out how to use that like nervousness to like fuel you, if that makes sense.
I think it was because like when I reached gold one, I was playing against like plat players, and I've
Hmm.
never played against like plat players before,
Yeah,
and
that
like
makes
high
sense.
golds. But like now, like I've been scrimming against like higher people, so like I think it was just like experience like
Hmm.
at the time.
That's part
So
of it, but that's
yeah.
like partially what I mean by like they're not that much better. Because like once you get
Yeah.
into these games, you'll realize like okay, this guy was all right, or like whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So that I think is like I said, try and use that like nervous break to like fuel you. Like yo, I'm playing against better players. Finally, let's go. If that
Yeah.
doesn't work, like I said, you'll just probably have to understand that they're not that. Like I said, they're not much better than you.
hmm
Really, they aren't. And so also, hopefully, after we do a VOD review and we address some questions or address some stuff, you'll have more confidence going into the game, anyways, because you'll probably feel like you have a lot more fix, that sort of a thing. So
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing to good way to address that. Okay, so you also said you're a Brimstone main. I usually a stronger defender with him rather than attack. So his advice on how to play with him on the team attack side specifically. Things like smoke spots and push for Brim. I'm assuming we'll probably address this more in your gameplay because I can't really just tell you right now.
Yeah.
The best way to think about it is just like think of it as choke points. So like let's say you're a CT, right, and you're trying to retake the site. It's like where are you coming from, and what's gonna make it harder for you? That's kind of how you. That's like just the bread and butter way to think about it. You could just have that
Yeah.
go through your head. It's like, okay, well, if I was retaking this, I do not want to go through a CT smoke. I don't know. That's just hypothetical. It's like, okay, let's try smoking off CT potentially, and then also when you're taking a site, where's some really popular spots they're going to be playing, you could just smoke that off, or like choke points, if you
Yeah.
will. That's good. Okay, so
I feel like when I attack with like Brim, like I'm always like kind of like autopiloting and just like kind of just like walking around, just like waiting for my team to like do something.
mhm.
But like I'm not really sure like what kind of like the role I have.
Yeah,
So like yeah,
so just the typical role is just like it's like the half initiator controller sort of a thing because like you initiate in a way that you drop the
yeah,
smokes and once they're dropped, like you kind of got to go, sort of. And then also you're kind of the controller because you have the power to cut off all the choke points, all the important places. So the way it typically works in a team situation is obviously just from like a pretty basic standpoint. It's like you work to a site, you get control of a spot. So let's say you're trying to push a B on bind, you get part of hookah controller, all of it, and then you maybe have long control, right? And then from there you just smoke off stuff, and then you let your entry go first, blah blah blah. That's all you got to do. So a lot of it depends on the control of what area you have because you're not going to want to go try and push B on bind when you don't have hookah and you don't have long because that's just you don't want to drop smokes then, that
yeah,
sort of a thing. So maybe that's a little too specific, but hopefully that like kind of does that kind of make
yeah. It makes
sense.
sense.
Yeah, okay. So like I said, a lot of these things we'll really touch on once we see the gameplay. I just figured I'd go ahead and address them now. Okay, so yeah, Vandal or Phantom. So this is what this is like huge. People always talk about this. So I think we should start by like identifying the pros and cons for both, right? Okay, so give me some things that the Vandal's good at.
Just one headshots like from
Okay,
any distance,
okay,
and
that's
that's
one.
pretty much like all I know.
No, that's
And it
fair.
has like all I know it just has like a shorter clip, but like Phantom has like higher clip, like higher faster like fire rate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but can't really one headshot.
that's fine. So the Vandal is better at, one tapping, that sort of thing. Better at a
Yeah.
distance, like you said. So what are the Phantom strengths then?
Higher fire rate.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like some people tell me that it's better for like when you're like trying to kill like multiple people at like a faster
Uh,
speed.
yeah, that's not too important because that's not going to
Yeah.
happen a ton. I mean, it kind of is, but sort
Yeah.
of. Okay, so the Vandal, you said distance, right? It's good at a
Mm-hmm.
distance, and the Phantom, you said fire rate. It's yeah, it has a faster fire rate. So when are you going to be taking more distance fights? Or I guess I should ask, when are you not taking close range fights?
Usually when I'm like defending and like holding an angle and like waiting for them to like push a
That's when you're taking long range
angle.
fights?
Uh, sort of, yeah, for me.
Okay. That's fair. Okay. Well, it's for me, I think it's the opposite because the way I'm looking at it is like, let's say, for example, you're playing Haven C, right? That like long corridor. This is all, like I said, hypothetical, but we're gonna address it
Yeah.
anyways. So you're trying as a terrorist or an attacker, excuse me, you're pushing that, right? You don't know where we don't know where the defender's gonna be. They could be holding the long angle, so forcing you to take a long range fight, or they could just be hiding on site, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, you as an attacker are typically to be taking that long range fight because you can't choose where they're going to be. You can't choose the CT's or the defender's position, right?
Yeah.
So it's very you don't know if you're going to have to take a close fight, if you're going to take a long fight. That you don't know any of that stuff, right? That's just depending on where they play.
Yeah.
But as a defender, you can choose where you want to play. So the Phantom has obviously because of its faster fire rate, it's going to be harder to control at a distance, therefore easier to control close up, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
Phantom's better at a closer range, right?
Yep.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. And so, because of that, if you're playing defense, you can choose the angle you want to fight. So, you could choose to take, instead of holding long C as a defender with a Phantom, you could just wait on site and then take a close range fight. You can hold a better angle. That
I see.
being said, the Phantom is better for CT side because you could force these closer angles. You have the power to do that. As whereas attacker, you don't because you can't just choose where the defender's going to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So that is kind of the basis for it, where you use the Phantom on CT side because you can choose closer fights, you can force the enemies into those spots, and then the Vandal on attacking side because you can't. You don't know what's gonna happen. That's kind of a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
But
That makes sense.
yeah, but I think the end all be all that you need to know is that it's all really preference. You're not going to have a super negligible difference if you use one or the other on one or the other side. It's really preference. So like if you just feel like you're on one day, like you feel like your shots are just crisp, then maybe you should use the Vandal completely. And maybe if you don't feel like your shots are on, you can just use the Phantom the whole time. Like it really doesn't matter too much, but that is as far as like I guess the science of it and the smart side of it, that is how you're going to want to cover that.
Okay.
Is
Yeah, that's
that
a good way to put it. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Cool. And then also you said any advice on how to control the spray of the Vandal? Just kind of pull it down and hope for the best. So because you're taking a long range fights, you're not going to always want it to be. You're not going to always want to necessarily spray with it. You obviously you can, and the only tips on how to control that is just to practice it. But
Yeah.
if you're finding difficulty spraying with the Vandal, you can either, like I said, just practice it, or you can try and put yourself in positions where you won't have to really spray with it, or you could take the closer fight, or whatever. And like I said, another way to think of that is if maybe you do find yourself spraying a lot and you just don't really know what to do about it, you can just pick the Phantom, pick it on the attacking side, like whatever, just spray with that. You know what I mean?
Is there like a recommended way to like shoot the Vandal like by like tapping or like a tap and
It
then like
depends
spray
all
or
on the situation. So if you're at a
okay.
long range, if they're a sitting duck, then spray them down, of course. But if they're moving
Yeah.
around, you're not going to want to commit to a spray because then you're a sitting duck. Hopefully, I could try and find some examples of that in the gameplay. Um,
Yep.
and I remember you saying you were talking about like you're practicing jiggle shots with your team and all that good stuff.
Yep.
So it kind of goes into that sorta. So, anyways, that's like kind of also. So hopefully that answers some questions about it. Like I said, end all be all is it's preferential. If you want to use the Phantom on the attack side and defense, or you want to use the Vandal on both, like it, whatever, it's just up to you. But as far as like I said, the smarter choice, that's kind of like the way you should think about it.
Okay.
So cool. All right, talk about retakes. Wait for my team. We play together. Okay, yeah. I mean that's kind of how you do it. Like I said, that's one thing we'll adjust when we get there, and then obviously enter the glaring issues. Okay, cool. So yeah, we'll just jump right into it. So what would you say again? Just refresh for me, like the big main issues you have are as far as like the fundamentals go.
I guess it would be like my decision making and like just like playing with the team
Do you see my
and
screen?
like yeah, yeah. And
Okay,
like
here, I'll
on this
just
game specifically, just like attacking.
mainly out of this list because it's gonna help me. It's gonna help you and me really identify. So you said decision making, so that is more. That goes into a lot of stuff. That's more just the
Just kind of
macro
like
side of things.
yeah, true. Like just like attacking, like playing with the team and like
Team play,
pushing,
okay.
just positioning, I guess.
Positioning is big, okay. All
Yeah.
right, cool, cool. Well, like I said,
Rotation, yeah.
I'll kind of touch on everything as we see it, but that's I just wanted
Yeah.
to know the main things. Okay, I'm gonna keep this
Yeah.
muted, by the way.
Yeah.
If you remember this game and there's like a comm that I might have missed, then you can tell me to unmute it and we can like listen for it maybe.
Yep.
But typically that's not gonna happen. Just let me know. All right, let's see here. These will lag on me. Let's play the round out before we do anything. Okay, why'd you smoke Evan?
Because the team we were gonna push the site together, and they just like told me to like smoke the heaven, and that's usually what like I smoke anyways. And I wasn't sure if anyone would be peeking that, so we just like cut it off.
So, do you think that the counter terrorists could potentially play there?
Usually, but
Okay.
think
No,
about it
you're
now,
right. You're
like with a
right.
pistol, not probably not,
No,
but
you're correct. I just want to make sure. I want to make sure you have the right idea. That's
okay,
right. You
yeah,
do want to smoke off heaven here. This is good. This is fine. But I want to make sure you know why you're smoking off heaven. And
yeah.
that's because they could potentially play there. So that's what that was going to be for me to beg the question. Do you think it'd be smarter to smoke something else off?
Maybe this like backside area where they could probably peeking through like this green box, maybe from there, but
Okay.
I'm not sure.
That's like I said. I think this is the right play. I'm just
Yeah,
curious. I'm picking your brain a little bit. I want to see. I'm seeing why you smoke things. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I want to make sure you have
yeah,
the right idea. For the most part, that's correct. You could be a little. It's hard to say because it's pissed around. You don't know what they're playing, who's where. You don't know anything, so it's always
yeah.
safe to go for that. So that's fine. Okay. Anyways, that's actually a pretty good molly. I was about to say it's a little scary. We're all good. Okay, this is good. Let me actually. Sorry, one sec. Okay, so you're Rana. You know people are pushing the site. How do you want to take these fights?
If I'm Reina,
Yes.
um,
Trying to think of a better way to word that. It's like okay,
um,
better. I guess a better question is how do you die as Reyna here, right?
if I flank her,
Well, no, I'm saying like you're playing Reyna, you're CT side right now. How do you die? Put yourself in her
um,
shoes.
I would just be like, if like multiple people shoot at her,
Yes, yes, correct. If
yeah,
you get pushed by multiple spots, and
yeah,
so is you pushing around here forcing that?
yeah.
Is it?
Well,
Your Phoenix died. That's
I
fine.
feel
He's entering. No big deal.
yeah.
Look
I
at
was
your
just
Sage.
taking a different angle to fight her because I know like he died from there, so I was just gonna like shoot her from the side
Okay.
and get position.
So this is a different. It's an interesting spot because what's going to happen is you either need to. So your sage ended up dying by themselves, and that's bad because she took a 1v1. As we just stated, that's not how you want to take these fights. Correct? You want to try and force
Yeah,
2v1s as much as possible. That's your goal.
yeah.
So is this a bad fight by Sage? Yes. So you either need to push beside her to either like force the Reyna to fight you guys 2v1 at the exact same spot. Or you communicate to the Sage, wait, I'm pushing around. Like give it a sec. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah.
Now, the reason I think you should just push with them is because that's so split second, like just to tell her to wait and you push. It's very heat of the moment that's going on right now. So you don't really want to just do that. You know what I'm saying? You can,
Okay.
but you don't want to.
Yeah.
But
So
do
if
you
I
see,
pretty much just pushed with the sage, then we could have killed her,
I
like
think
both of us.
yes, you both she dies here. You see the
Yeah.
Sage taking this fight, you swing with her. Cuz she even if she kills the Sage, you definitely so let's just think about it logically, right? You push her 2v1. She kills the Sage, you trade her. Cool, right? And if you push her 2v1, she basically has a guaranteed kill on the stage, right? And then you push around and you get the kill, right? So you do get the trade, which is good, but you get the trade for the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying? Whereas
Yeah.
if you pushed her together, she might not have even killed the sage. It's possible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a niche situation because you did end up trading it, but do you see like kind of where I'm going with this?
Yeah. I could have like Sage could have been alive still
Yes,
if I like 2v1.
potentially.
Yeah.
I think that the more it's more incorrect on Sage's part than it is you for sure, because I don't think what you did is necessarily bad. It's just not might not be ideal. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, okay. Then we'll get to some more. We're gonna play this through some. This is already, but how far are we in? Like 15 minutes? Good God! All right, that's fine. We talked a lot. It's no big deal. Oh boy. Okay, let's see. Where's Jet? Not here. It's fine. Whatever. Hmm. So I think yeah, this is also interesting because what happened is you got the kill on Reyna, and now you got to prioritize getting bomb down. Which it could have been. It's possible you were just like focused on the round. You didn't really realize it wasn't down. Maybe I don't actually know. That's fine. And if so, that's a little bad. So the reason this is still a bad angle though, even if bomb is down. Do you know why?
Oh, why is that?
Because you're in a one and done basically. So you get this kill here, and it caught him off guard. That's exactly what happened. You're likely to catch somebody off guard potentially. This is kind of common, but it's like the idea is like sort of there because you're playing off angle. Even if he does check it, yeah, you catch him off guard. Boom, free kill. You're pretty much dead now. You're almost guaranteed to die because he
Yeah.
can swing you, another person up here can swing you, and if it's a good team, they'll double swing you. And now it's 2v3. So because you're in a disadvantageous spot, you really got to be careful how you take these fights. So this is kind of bad. It's not the worst. The
Yeah.
idea is kind of there, but yeah, definitely. Like I said, the most important thing is to get bomb down. So once you killed the Reyna earlier on in the round, right here, you kill her, you should have instantly fallen back to get bomb because with the bomb is dropped in front of heaven, which is smoked off. So that's like your best chance because that's gonna fade in a second, and then once it fades, it's gonna be hard for you guys to get to it. And now you have to potentially wait on the jet to get here to smoke it. You know, whatever the case may be. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
We just unpacked quite a bit that first round. Hopefully we'll see more of the issues along so I can address them a little bit more clearly. But yeah. Because we're pushed on time, I'm actually gonna skip the eco round. If
Yep.
that's cool with you.
That's fine.
I don't think it's quite as important. They're definitely important to talk about, but just because for the sake of time, we're gonna go to the more important rounds overall. Alright, let's see. Not much going on yet. Okay, let's see. Why do you smoke those positions off?
Just to like cut off like the entrances so we can plant.
Okay, cool. Making sure. Then you watch your back. That's also good. I think you should save this molly here.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Why is that?
Well, I want you to brainstorm. Why should you save it?
Well, it's already blocked off anyways, so
Okay, yeah,
they
that's
could have just like fallen back already.
exactly. That's pretty much it. You're delaying them more potentially, but you first of all you can't even bank that this is gonna like perfectly cut them off. Like if it goes from like here to here, they could maybe just sneak around and then shoot or smack the wall. It's better to wait till maybe the smoke fades, this fades, whatever the case may be. That's just some. It's not really nitpicky. It kind of is, but because of the round, but. Yeah, and then I think you guys just
Pretty sure
win.
the Phoenix just saves us, yeah. And then we just like this is just sad. 3 of us died.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah. Like he touched it and then we all got like yeah.
That's big brain.
We were so tilting.
It's alright, it's alright. Okay, I was about to say make sure you get smokes. That's a very priority on
Yeah. Say on like first round, is it better to have 3 smokes or 1 smoke and a Molotov?
It's hard to say. I actually think 3 smokes is better because on pistol round, it's like if you just get blocked off in 3 spots, it's like what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? especially because you don't have util, or like as a defender you don't have a lot of utility, and you don't have the best of gun to like make a play. So I think it's better to just have 3 smokes. Now, depending on how confidently you can taking in your skills on a pistol round, you also don't have anything to flood people out. So you could potentially just plant it in a spot where you can like line up your molly and just drop it or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think all smokes is better overall, but it's kind of a up to you sort of a thing. I think this smoke is. Where'd you smoke this off? Oh, to get that. Okay, never mind. That's fine.
Yeah.
Be careful though, because now you're out of smokes, or maybe you're out of smokes.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
low
true.
on
It's
that.
hard to say.
Yeah, it's fine. That's just something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not. This is kind of on. Yeah. Okay. So your jet entries, right? Are you guys calming this? Do you remember?
We were just like commenting, just like we were just gonna
Yeah,
like
go for this, go for
flash
this.
it
You ready?
and then just push it
Flashing.
up. But
Okay. Yes,
yeah.
you did. Okay. Cool. So jet pushes in, dies instantly, right? Should you have been there to trade her, or should somebody have been there to trade her?
At least closer, yeah.
Yes.
To like
Because
push
what
it.
happened
Yeah, 'cause
is
there's so many angles.
now it's a 1v1. Because if you think about it, it's kind of a 1v1, right? Because what happened is he took a 1v1 with the jet, killed her, and then he got time to reset and like readjust his angle and all that good stuff, and he can stop committing to the spray. So now Breach runs in, dies, but now notice he doesn't have a chance to recommit his spray, and so the Sage ends up killing him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you guys could have actually kept Breach alive here if I think I wanted your def, since you're closer, you should be directly behind her. So this is something you can calm. You can be like, before you flash, let me make sure we have 2 to be able to push, and be like, yo, hold off on the flash for like half a second. Get close with her, go in with her, because you would have killed the Brimstone, and then that would have saved your Breach's life, which could potentially be a factor in the round. That's just kind of the basics of pushing as a terrorist and pushing for trades. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. See, this is where you should gauge, or you should have gauged before. Should I have used my smoke to grab that ult orb, or I should still have smokes here, whatever the case may be. This is why I say prioritize smokes pretty much at all times, because you could have potentially smoked off like right here and then got onto site. But now you guys are forcing yourself in weird spots where you just kind of push for info and make stuff happen where you don't really need to. You had the opening, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And see, now you force yourself into a 1v1 when you really didn't need to. You could have very easily just taken site. And even if you don't have a smoke here, I think it's better for you guys just to push together, because now you guys end up splitting and just taking 1v1s. So I think you should have just calmed your Sage to peek this with me, which I think is fine, or not peeked it at all, or like shoulder peeked it maybe for info, and then pushed with her. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what happens here.
Yeah.
I think that's your best option. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, and then she just saves. No big deal. Because I want to be careful with touching on team play stuff. I really want to touch on it as far as like outside of comms, because there's a lot of team play stuff you guys can be doing better that is you don't even need a comment. Like, for example, pushing in a garage here is a prime example. You don't really need
Yeah,
to.
we should have just known.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever he says, yo, I'm flashing in, you don't need to sit here and be like, yo, wait, let me get closer. You should just be closer by default. You don't have to calm that. You can calm it, that's fine, potentially, depending on how things work. The reason I say potentially is because if it's heated around, you might not want to do that. Like on the Reyna example on A site, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's probably not. You probably don't really have time to calm to your say. It's like, yo, wait a sec. Like, there's just not. That's not the moment. That's stuff you need to see and you need to pick up on yourself. And this is an example of that.
Okay.
So, but that's okay. It's like I said, it's a process. Now you know. Now you know this is something you need to look for. Hopefully, we'll see more examples of it, and we can go from there.
Just like my awareness.
Yes, this is map awareness right here.
Yeah.
You can see exactly what your teammates watching, exactly what they're doing. So it's very easy to play around people, and you don't even need to talk about it. You can just look. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I want to talk more about individual stuff because I think it's more important for that right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd agree with me on that. I think.
No, I agree.
It's also why we're here. If you want to do a team stuff, we can work that out a different time. But there's definitely team issues I can see going on. But like I said, I don't really want to talk about it too much. It's just not worth it. You guys go get this. This is good. I think this is like pretty smart. You just gotta like make sure like you don't use all your smokes up or something.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about the Ares either. It's pretty broken, but it's just weird. I don't like it,
I
but
love it.
if you feel find use with it, then like you do you.
Yeah.
Okay, this is good. You smoked off a choke point. Almost got caught off guard, but it's okay. Yeah, and then you got sight. Good kills, good kills. Wait, who's the first person you killed? Oh, that guy, that's right. Now notice, okay, so this is gonna be weird, but hear me out. Obviously, this stage jumped through like a complete clown, but let's say she didn't jump through. She was sitting here. Is there any world where she wins this fight? Well, there is,
If
but
she
it's
was already peeking it.
yes, it's highly unlikely she wins this fight. And even if she's just sitting here, if she's not jumping through like a moron. You know why?
No. Why is that?
Look at this. Look who's behind you.
Oh,
Breach.
my
It's a
breach.
2v1.
Oh yeah.
It's possible if you guys get lined up and she's nuts, sure, but that's unlikely, right? And even if it is likely, you guys have 2 people shooting at her. She has 1.
Yeah.
And so yeah, this is the fundamentals of trading. You know what I'm saying? If we go back to that round where you pushed in the garage, the same thing would have happened to that Brimstone that was sitting in the corner with an SMG, right? Right here.
Yeah.
And he probably wouldn't have killed 2 people. He probably would have just ended up killing 1. But you guys ended up losing this round, it looks like.
Yeah. We didn't get to plant.
That's rough. Yeah. Who died with bomb? That's fine. We're not really gonna worry about that. Like I said, we're here for you, not for people. 26 minutes. That's fine. We can go a little over because we talked about some questions, so it's no big deal. Okay, I was just about to say you don't need to dry peek this, but you didn't, so that's fine. Did you slow that? Was that a lineup?
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's see. This is okay. It's a kind of a whack round, but
Yeah. I was just trying to get the plant down.
yeah,
Just to get the money at least.
I think what happened is you guys made a lot of noise towards A at the beginning of the round. You went to mid, then you came back to A. So in low elo, people over rotate a lot, and so you probably had people over rotate. You went back to mid. They either rotated back to B or they hung out, or if they're on their way back to C/B, they just weren't far enough, and they heard you guys come back to A. Is my guess. That's why there was like 12 people here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and one's already on site.
I think it's better for you to prioritize the smokes here, and to be honest, because what happens is you use this ult. All right, well, is this ult likely to kill somebody? Yes or no?
Maybe if someone was already on site, because
Potentially.
that's a
Okay.
popular spot.
Right. But is it likely to block somebody off though?
No.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's a if they're heaven or under heaven, they're not. They can't see you guys. So you use this. Well, I guess I should ask this: are you more likely to block somebody off as far as like cut vision off, or kill somebody here with the ult?
I'm pretty sure someone calmed that someone was there, so
Okay.
I just use it.
Well, okay. That's why I was asking though. Do you think is it more even if somebody's there, whether the odds of you killing them or blocking them off is higher? You're 100% blocking them off, but the reason I'm asking you is this guaranteeing a kill? The answer is no.
No, it's not.
Exactly. So you use it to block them off. You use it now. Heaven and hell are like cut off now, which is fine. That's good. But what's not cut off is CT in this side. So that's what that was the issue. There was a play. Now this player wasn't necessarily CT. Don't get me wrong, but this player was. You know what I'm saying? And that Sage might have had second thoughts about pushing through if you had just smoked originally. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I actually think it's better instead of ulting here to just double smoke it, because you would guarantee block off CT and heaven instead of just blocking off heaven, well, and hell, I guess too. But you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it makes sense.
And so yeah, because of that, they killed her. This person was here. They messed up the trade, probably because I don't know why they messed up the trade. They should have got that, but and this, like I said, this Sage might have had second thoughts about pushing through that smoke, and that could have led to some better stuff. And then obviously Brimstone pushed through. Yeah, that's a little more nitpicky, but I want to get you thinking about this stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Is maybe ulting heaven's not necessarily bad there, but is there a better option and why? That's what I want you to think about.
Okay.
Okay, so anyways, hopefully that answers that. Let's see here. I like to dance around garage too. Yeah, you're just by yourself here. This is just, there's no need for this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because now, especially for you, you're a very important agent. You never need to be pushing stuff by yourself if you have smokes available. Because now, like when they try and push a site, they don't have anything to block off choke points. I mean, they have jet smokes, but like that's useless. So, anyways, that should be pretty obvious right there. Because it looks like you guys were playing a default, right?
Yeah, that's normally where we plan. That's where
Mm-hmm.
we planned it.
Yeah, so whenever you play default, make sure if you're gonna push this thing like that, that's not the worst idea, but you gotta go with somebody else. Maybe have your Phoenix come with you. Or if I were you, just hang out garage and make sure, or hang out like right here, make sure they don't push that. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Because yeah, you pushing solo there, it's like you can maybe get a kill, which is good, but like it's too risky. Because if you die, now it's very hard for them to take sight, which is what happened. Guess that you ended up coming back this round. And you see how a lot of these rounds, like they're not like crazy, like they're not super far off. Like you can see
Yeah.
how a lot of the stuff can just be prevented, and you guys could get so many. You guys could probably be up right now if you'd taken better
The
trades
little
and
plays.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, very small stuff. That's not anything huge really. I mean it's a lot of big stuff, but like overall, like my point is you can see how some of this stuff is losing you guys rounds. I was just badly calm. That's okay. It's not nothing you could have done there. You could have maybe trying to think. Maybe you could have. Well, okay, so maybe you could have actually pushed. So what I would do here is definitely slow things down because you have your Phoenix on A, and he has, he's in a good spot, so he can either flank or just hold A site for rotates. And so I think it's either good for you guys. This is more team stuff. I'll talk about it a little bit because I see it here. To either just if you're gonna push B, make sure you calm that. Be like, yo, Phoenix, make a play, and then also notice how your Jet's pushing up. You should either tell them, yo, let me smoke first, or make sure somebody's directly behind her for a trade. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Because now there's no trade, and
Yeah.
either your smoke could have prevented this death, or him being right behind the Jet could have prevented that death. Like I said, not too much of your fault because it was just her just doing something. But the idea is still kind of there. Now, this is
Mm-hmm.
where you could have definitely smoked. This would definitely be a good smoke. At this point, you guys want to take sight. You know that, and one of the major choke points is not cut off, and then she dies from that. It's also a terrible plan, but it's okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that makes
So
sense.
I think you're just here. You're a little stuck on like what to do. I feel like there's not enough communication as far as like we're taking B site. I feel like it just kind of happened, which is why the Jet died one up by one person and why she just kind of went in by herself. So this is an example of like once you see her have this wall out and you're like she's trying to plant, you could just I would instantly smoke off like this side, potentially even this one as well, and then just be right behind her. Because if you smoked off CT, or I guess this is CT for sure, he probably wouldn't have killed her, and even if she did, you're here for the trade. You know what I mean? Um, little more niche team play things that's kind of
Yeah.
hard to get into because it's a little bit lower MMR. I don't mean that in a mean way, of course. I'm
No.
just
No.
adding.
It's okay.
You should have repeaked. You just got caught off guard here. Yeah, I think you should take the. That's I'm trying to think.
Say for that plant, where should I be like going for post plant? Because Breach said he was gonna like calm to go back. So I don't know. I didn't really know where to go.
Well, let me see. Let's watch this out one more time. You guys should definitely be playing together. That's for sure. Because right now it's like 2v1, so he should swing right now. Is what he should do.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would have potentially killed the Phoenix there, and or now you trade the Phoenix. Now, obviously, it's hard to say because it's 4v2. So the ideal situation here is that it's planted for mid. You have control of it, and then you can maybe smoke off some choke points. There's a lot you can do here. You can maybe smoke those off, be sneaky back sight. That's kind of a good option. Because it's 2v4, it's really weird to say, but because it's 2v4, the one thing you do know is they're going to be getting aggressive, and you can, if you guys play together, you can get some easy kills. So I would say to smoke off some big points, like get the CT smoke off here, and then just like kind of hang out and make sure you guys are staying on the same like angle, because that way you can pick up free kills. Because if he was watching this with you, And or like if you calmed it, maybe he just picked up on it on himself. You guys would have taken this fight together more than likely, and he'd be dead. Now it's 3v2. But instead, it was really weirdly communicated. You ended up dying. He got opt. You know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's
Okay.
hard to say. Like, well, obviously there was wrong here, but it's like the right answer has to be so perfect because there's 4 of them alive, so it's like really weird. The best option is to once again just keep the choke point smoked off and then play together, because you know they're gonna get aggressive because they have 4 people. They're just gonna run at you. So if you're playing together, you can potentially pick up 3 kills and make it like a 2v2. Um, and
Main
if you
thing
have
so far I'm noticing is like I should be playing, or like my team should be playing more together, because we're just
yes,
taking 1v1 fights and not
exactly, it's
trading.
a lot of
Yeah.
1v1 fights. That happens a lot in team play at lower levels of play. People just kind of just take fights. That's okay.
So the main fix for that is just like being aware that you should be like together more.
It depends on your plan. When you're playing a default, definitely just don't get over aggressive, because the playing a default is to get info. That's why you play a default, is to figure out what they're doing, figure out how they're playing. That's kind of the whole
Mhm.
idea. And so if you get aggressive, you're not figuring anything out. Well, you are figuring stuff out, but you're dying in the process, so it's like not worth it,
Yeah.
of course. The easiest way to fix it. This is stuff you guys can go over in your games, in your VOD reviews. I'll actually, if you guys do one today, I'll come in there for like 20 minutes and I'll
Okay.
address one of these rounds and I'll just like go over everything as a whole. And then once you guys have that info, you can talk about it more. Um,
Okay.
so basically, yeah, you need to get everybody on the same page with this stuff as far as like how to take trades. Because the issue isn't that you guys are all split up. It is sometimes, but the issue is that you guys are just pushing site like one by one. It's like there's no like cohesion as far as like pushing a site, and that's where you need it, because that's when you need to be able to pick up trades. If that makes sense, not just pushing a
No,
site, but
yeah, it
that is
makes
the
sense.
bigger thing. This is more like a half buy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna skip this though, because like I said, we're a little sort of cut on time. It has been 35 minutes. That's not too bad. See where you smoke off here. So this smoke's a little scary because they could play around it. So it cuts off a choke point, but it doesn't cut off like a big one. Um, so you see how somebody could play around this? They could play like behind it because there's such a weird little gap right here. So
Yeah,
this
they
is
can just
kind
like
of
move around it. Yeah.
that's why you gotta think when you put it on a smoke how they can play around it. Because if you put on CT, they can't play around that. They have to push through it or not. You know what I'm saying? But this one, they can like push through it at an angle because there's a gap. It's like kind of catty cornered with this heaven smoke. It's kind of weird. So this is like it's okay maybe on like an eco where you're trying to just get a plant down, which is well, I guess it's kind of what this is. So never mind. I guess it's not too bad. But you see what I'm saying? Like I just kind of want you to think
Yeah.
about this again. People can play around this, and you need to be careful of that.
Like someone could just like chill in the smoke and
Yeah,
just like
that
pop
like
out
I
and
love sitting
like
in people's bad smokes. I'll show you an example actually, here in a little bit of how I did a VOD review on tens. I don't know if you saw that on my channel. And there's one pistol round where you picked up 3 kills because somebody put a bad smoke down, and like people can do that.
oh wow.
Yeah, and so
So like
that
those two smokes, the heaven and the choke point are like just like good enough.
yeah, these are really good. So
Okay.
you can either, if you want to, you could potentially throw like here, I'll show you. See if I can get it to pull up when you drop these. Like throw heaven like right here where my mouse is, and then also right in front of it. You know what I'm saying? That'll cut off hell as well. Now that's
Okay.
also
Yeah.
kind of a choke point, so you do have to be careful with that as well. But like you said, you have mollies. You can just flush them out with breached util. You can use a lot of stuff to flush them out of there. But this you can't really. They can play all in this area, so that's a good one. That's the stuff I like to throw when I play Brim. But definitely heaven and CT. Those are like the bread and butter, right? And then
Yeah.
with proper team play, you can eliminate sight. But you can't really team play around somebody playing in a smoke that just catches everybody off guard, and you're like, oh shoot, now we're dead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is just more stuff to think about. I just want to see how everybody dies here. What ranked were these? This is a tournament?
Yeah, this was like the first game. It was like the group stage.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess you don't
Yeah.
really know. It's just random, sort of.
Yeah. We ended up coming back and winning those, so
That's pretty cool. That's okay. I mean, like I said, there's always things you can do here, but I don't want to touch too much on it because it's an ego, so it's hard to like give you proper guidelines. This is good. Getting close control. You're pulling out utility. That's an interesting. Yeah, I think you just need to also smoke off left side. If you're pushing B, if you're smoking left, you might as well also smoke right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're pushing site. Obviously, if you're trying to maybe
I think
make
because
like
our Jed was opping the right side.
okay,
He
that's
only said
yeah.
left side. Yeah.
Okay, that's okay then. But this is an example of you might want to trust your team too much because notice how she claims she's opping left side and then she just kind of looks that way. So if she's
Yeah, that's
opping
true.
left side, she should just post up on it. She needs to just sit here and look at it, or just cut it off. Like put the smoke a little bit deeper instead of having it like right here where it like pokes out like in this area. Just make it where like the edge of the smoke is like in the door. So if they push through it,
Okay,
it's a free op kill maybe. And she
that's
can
true.
still post up on it with an op. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But instead she dies. So yeah, that's really bad by her actually. And then you died. Yeah, and see, now you ended up dying because you're focused on this angle, and he peeks you. But if that was smoked, you might not have been. You might have been focused over here, and then you ended up dying because of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you can see how smoking off proper choke points, it does so much for your
Yeah.
team. Because
The chain of events that just
yes,
happened after.
exactly.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff that just goes on, and that can all just be changed if it's done differently.
Smoked it. Yeah.
Anyways, okay. I feel like you had a lot of attacking questions. Like I said, questions on attacker side. So hopefully we addressed
Yeah.
a lot of that. And see, yeah, this is better. This is also kind of that goes back to that example of where you're giving him like a smoke to play around, but he's an op, so he can't really play around it. So that's fine. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Once again, more things to just kind of think about. It's gonna base it off. Now, if that guy had a rifle, you might not want to do that. You know what I'm saying? And that forces a cipher back. How did he die? Yeah, it forced him in a different spot, and he was able to get the kill. Obviously, that might have been a little more lucky. So why'd you ult here? What was like your idea, I should say?
Just to like cut them off, and so we could get the plant down.
So if you did ult here, would you get the plant down? Probably.
Probably still get the
Yeah,
plant.
you probably get the plant. The reason I'm asking you is I think it's a little unnecessary because like your Jet's in a good spot. She's in a really interesting little off angle. Her play is very, very aggressive in a bad way. But she is in a good spot right now. So I think it's a little unnecessary to at least maybe what you could have done is instead of taking this time to press X or whatever the alt key is and push up, you could have just pushed up with her. And now you got a 2v1 situated. So you could have played like in the smoke maybe or like just on one of these little closer angles. Once you see somebody shoot at the Jet, you peek out and you go for the 2v1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you could have saved the ult potentially. It's hard for me to say that. I would like to find an example to pull it up. Well, I guess we found a few, but yeah, okay, cool, good job. Yeah, this is good. You saved heaven because you just killed somebody there, so you were like, they're probably not going to be there, so that saved you a smoke. I'm assuming that's why you did it at least.
Yeah.
That Molly's okay. That's pretty good. Yeah, Molly's fine, actually. Take that back. Oh, I'm assuming he stuck the bomb.
Unfortunate. Yeah.
Oh my god, he just spammed it.
Okay, he spammed it.
Oh, I got him.
Okay. It's a weird situation because of how it worked out, because it got smoked off. I'm trying to think. Yeah, she got spammed, so this is... Let me just go back to the other turn of events. You can always shoulder peek for info. If you... Before, like, everything gets thrown down.
Was that a good position for like the post plant?
Yeah, the post plant position is fine because you have two people here. So in general,
Yeah.
you just... Once you hear the tap, you both swing, and he can't kill you both, even if he fakes it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
How
yeah,
could I support breach there, or
you
not
can't.
really?
You can't. Yeah, he's in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Or what he needs to do is potentially play in a spot to where when they peek him, you can peek out also. So like, which is what I think
Okay.
it looks like you try to do that. I don't think this was the right intention, but it was the idea. And so
So it was more so on him
yeah, that was kind of bad,
and
sorta.
okay.
And so
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying though, because if he had been playing in a different spot, maybe while the Phoenix was shooting at him, you've had an angle. So the only option would be is maybe you play actually this right side, this corner over here, which I think would be better anyways, because let's see what happened actually. Yeah, I think you should go to this right corner. Because now you guys have that double, like, this, you have somebody over here, somebody over here. Because let's say, for example, there's just hypothetically, they have two people on the bomb, right? And they
Yeah.
tap it, and then they both look at you. They both look here. You're both here. You can potentially both die. But if you're on this side, it's like that opens up the alleys for like two people to, you know what I mean? Like it's going to be harder for them to take that fight because they have to shoot one here and then
Yeah.
flick to the player here. And instead, you guys are like aligned up. And that also leaves, if you played right side, more of an opening to see the Phoenix here. Maybe I don't think you would have, but I think the idea would be correct. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you could have potentially seen the Phoenix if you were playing this right side. You know what I mean? And you
Yeah. A
could have
little
traded.
earlier.
So he
Yeah.
could have positioned under heaven better to where when Phoenix swings, you can actually get a vision on him and you can just swing and kill him. But that's more team play stuff. That's like more on him. Like I can sit there and tell you this all day, but if he's playing around, then it just is what it is. So I do think
Okay.
going in this corner would be better, but it's a mix of both. So all right, cool. Hopefully that answered a lot. Any other questions about attacker side that you wanted to address?
No, I just realized I need to be like more with the team and
Yeah,
use
a
my
lot of
smokes
it's your
more
trades are
effectively.
poor, and I think your ability usage is fine, but I want you to think about it more. Think about why you're doing
Okay.
something,
Okay.
and then over time you'll start having better placement of that. But I don't think it's like bad per se.
Where does Brim usually play on defense side?
Mm,
Because I like playing on the middle just so like I just smoke off like choke points if they're pushing
yes,
A or
that's.
C.
It really depends on your comp because you don't have a cipher. I'd put him either on. I like to put him either. Well, it sounds stupid. I was gonna say either solo A, solo C, or like in garage is good too, kinda. Because you can smoke off. You have full reign of smoking off mid. So if you guys ever want to do an aggressive mid take, you can, where you smoke off like here, here, and here, and that leaves this like wall, and you can have
Mm-hmm.
both mid players push up and all that good stuff, and now you have control of it. You can play C because you can delay really well with your smoke. You can just smoke off like bottom here, and they're not going to push through it, or it'd be scary for them to. You know what I mean? And like solo A
Yeah.
is okay because it really a lot of it on CT side is delaying, and that really works well on all spots. So it's hard to say.
Yeah.
A lot of it's based on comp. Like I said, because you don't have a cipher, I think it's good for you to play solo C here. But if you plan on taking aggressive mid, that's also really good. If that makes sense.
Okay.
This is definitely a bad spot. You know why this is bad?
Yeah. I should. They could easily just like 2v1 me. I should have. And there's no like cover if I
Yeah,
get shot.
exactly. It's pretty obvious as to why this is bad. You just
Yeah.
play. I would literally just
I
play
realized
like.
that after.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You can,
Window.
if you want to be like sneaky, you can play behind this box. People don't check it sometimes. I don't think it's worth it for a pistol round. That's good for like an eco because you still get traded here potentially or probably. I think it's best to just play the common angle here because it's so good. Because like you could just if once he flashes you, you can like back up. You could shoot the flash, maybe reap jiggle peek. But at least you have cover, right? At least with all these
Yeah.
options, you have cover if you play here. By playing here,
It's like
you have no options. You just die.
yeah. It's like when you said the first round, it was like the one and done kind of thing.
Yes, this is good if you have like a 2v4. You can play here
Yeah.
and get somebody killed and then you get traded, but now it's 3v1, right? And vice versa, sort of a thing. But yeah, you pretty much have no retaliation effectively. You can't help out C player, you can't do anything. Because if you play here, this is a little more niche, sort of. Let's say they rush C, right? Now you have to walk all the way from here to here, but if you're playing here, it's like a quicker walk. It's like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You'll save like a second or two to get to C, which like this is more high level because this is stuff that you're not gonna be thinking about for a while, but it is there. It still exists.
Yeah.
Um, so that's just something to potentially. Don't worry about that too much. Like I said, that's a little bit higher level, but it's still like an option. Anyways, it's all good. We're just I love this knife. It's so clean. I don't have the money for it though.
Yeah. I don't like the whole pack though. There's
Yeah,
no handle
I
or
don't like
anything.
the original skin. I think it has I think the colors are good and the animations are really good, but that's about it. Like at least with the other skin lines they released, like the skin or like the actual skins look good, if that makes sense. Like the original.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's no big deal. This is an eco, like I said, we're just gonna skip through it because we don't
Yeah.
have a
It's
ton of
fine.
time. This is good. You didn't freak out. A lot of people freak out about an ult like that.
Yeah.
I would smoke off. Once you get right here, just whip your smokes out and throw one here and here. Because you know they're pushing now because they just ulted and you have vision because your player just died here. And so that would be really good. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because then that would put you maybe at a better spot. Also, the swing was a little bad. Let me see. Hang on, let me play it back out. That's good. This is, you had the idea. You swung whenever you saw Jet taking a fight. I'm assuming that's why you swung. I hope that's why you swung.
Yep.
If not,
Yeah.
that's, you can see why this swing was good. Now this one's not as good because you potentially have people looking at you. Oh dang it! Oh wait, never mind. Sorry, hold on. I thought there was like an omen that ulted or something. But you have nobody here to trade you, so I think it's okay to like shoulder peek for the info, maybe get a jiggle off and see what's going on. Or if you don't swing to the point where like you're committing to a spray because now you're sitting duck and you're just dead to her. And that's what happens. Or
So
you're dead to
just,
somebody else.
shoulder peek it, pretty much. Or
You can shoulder peek's weird because you know they're up. You can maybe, I think once you get this kill, you don't swing
just
out this
run away.
wide. Yeah, because when you swing out this wide, now you're just committed. But if you swing out a
no
little bit
bodies out.
closer, you're gonna be in a spot to kill him and back up. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah, it's a little more not niche, but a kind of higher level because of the way it worked out. Because there's like 3 pushing, so you have to be more specific with how you take a peek like that. But the idea is still there. Okay, let's jump through this stuff. I think this original scenario is just kind of seeing what happened. This smoke's fine. Nah, actually, yeah, the
We
window's
just do it to take like mid control.
yeah,
so
you're
we can
fine.
push out
So
there.
what I was gonna say is actually, if you're good, if you plan on taking mid control, I would do like maybe not every round, but at least try it. Smoke here, here, and here, and just literally push somebody through garage and 2 mid, or 2 garage, 1 mid, whatever the case is. That's why you can get mid control. This is good to delay a potential opera, a potential whatever, but you're not really getting mid control with this. You're just getting pushed out. This isn't really mid control right here. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Because if multiple pushed out, you could potentially die here. This fight's okay though, because it you know, you have 2 people looking at once, all that good stuff. But it's not really control. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Okay. You had the idea here. Just wait. So you should definitely swing with your Sage here, I think, because well, she shouldn't take the fight. She shouldn't take the fight, but the fact that she did, you should just go and make a play off of it. Because right now,
Just, yeah.
it's 1v1 between these two right now. If you peek, it's 2v1. And she could have lost this, and now it's 3v1, potentially. You know what I'm saying? And 2 people are really low. Including
I think it was just like so fast paced, like
yeah,
it just happened.
like I said, you're low HP, so it makes sense. But what should happen? The ideal thing is that you guys get the info. She shoulder peeks, sees him there, and then stops. Now you just smoke it off.
I
And go
also
from there.
think I remember like at this moment I was like, oh yeah, I can't die. Like I have no money for next round, so I
Yeah.
was just trying to like just stay alive.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, if you just smoke that, that's the ideal spot. But because of the way it happened, her swinging there is bad. But that could have potentially done something. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mid control here is good. Ooh, let's see what happened. A little bit of a whiffage.
Yeah.
That's why I think you need to have everybody here, because Breach is doing nothing. You should definitely calm him. If you guys plan on doing this, you should have him come with you. Because you guys, you died. I mean, she did kill you, but oh wait, never mind. I thought the Jet died. I'm stupid. Yeah. So if this is the third person here, that's a trade that can happen. Now, sure, you can get mad at yourself for missing the shot, whatever. You definitely just kind of freaked out there. You just kind of took a fight. But you know what I'm saying? Like, even if that was bad, if the Breach was here, it could have been a trade, and or just you don't die. So, I mean, think of it as like you're playing terrorist in a way, like, or you're playing attacker in a way, like you're taking control of something. Like you gotta put a lot of resources into it. And you just, yeah, the Breach was just doing nothing there. That's like, I'm assuming you play with these people a lot, right? So that's something you guys can talk about. Make sure you guys are that sort of thing, you know. Oh, we'll skip a lot. Why is it so laggy, dude? I don't understand.
Do you ADS a lot?
No, I don't at all, really.
Yeah,
It's
I
just the
don't really
Counter-Strike
like doing
player
it
in me.
either.
It's
Yeah.
good to do, actually. It's got its perks. Like ADSing, like holding an angle like that is okay. But it's more preferential than anything. This is a decent ult because it's really gonna slow them down.
Mm-hmm.
Now short's just not a thing at all.
Yeah, I heard they were pushing it, so I just ultied it.
You could be a little more smooth with it, as far as like you could have got this ult off quicker and then maybe smoked out long too. And then
Okay.
maybe potentially even smoked off right here, which I know is scary, but because this is ulted, the only way they can really push is like this way and or
Yeah,
effectively, so you can smoke that and then get control by going like out here.
that's
Maybe.
true.
Potentially. This is like I said, a little more.
Because there was someone there, yeah.
Yes, exactly. So plus you don't have everybody here, so but that is one way to get out because once you guys get cucked back here, it's like it's really hard to push through. Because they could just funnel everything into this one spot. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. That was really stupid of them. But
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah, they choke this hard.
Nice. That's quirky. Oh, she did her thing.
Yeah.
This is a good molly though, because it makes them push left, and you were able to pick up 2 kills off that. So yeah, that's good. The smoke was good. Yeah, I mean you played this pretty well. I don't think there. I mean there's really not much you could have done differently. There's a
Yeah.
few niche things, but like for the most part, that you played that relatively smart. So that's fine. Okay. Anyways. It seems like you spray a lot too, so make sure you definitely. I think you should use the Phantom a little more.
Okay.
Plus, now you have the idea. I gave you like the rundown of why you should use one or the other.
Especially in that like tight corner too.
Mm-hmm.
Just that faster fire rate.
I feel like you knew somebody was here, you just didn't know where.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me. I think you should wait for your team here for sure. Just give them a sec. They should probably be here quicker, but they're not, so you definitely need to wait. Because now you're just 1v1 in sight, and this is what happened. But
Yeah.
if Breach was here with you, or Sage, they could easily get this trade. And now it's another 1v1 right here. And he could have died. This Breach could have been dead
Yeah.
right now. But instead, you guys took a 1v1, so it just didn't work out properly. Okay, that's good. You guys have bomb down. Anyways, like I said, we're running sort of low on time, so we're gonna skip. When you're dead, we're just gonna keep going.
Yep.
DB clicks. That looks familiar. I don't know why. Maybe it was because I was in your stream the other day.
Yeah, yeah, he's always there.
Okay, nothing really happened this round. Yep, you slung with your team. That's fine. Yeah, you're definitely coming back on them. They're probably getting a little antsy.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that you'll probably start seeing them play terrible defaults or just rush stuff a lot now. Probably what's gonna end up happening because they're starting to get a little worried. Okay, you're anchoring. This is good. You didn't over rotate because you didn't need to. Yeah, you're able to, well, could pick up a free kill. Yeah, see, perfect. Now you waited for your team. Now you're waiting, and even if you die here, it's an instant trade by the rest.
Yeah, they're
So
all there.
yeah, so this is good. This is team play. You see all these other rounds this could have happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This game could be over by now if you guys had played a little bit more smoothly. Come on. That was weird. I think it's actually good to go with the Phoenix here, potentially.
I think that was
Coordinate
just
that.
all.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
People are going to be terrified because they're just like, I don't want to die to somebody who's going to just come back so you can
Oh
push
yeah,
with them.
true.
or you can like coordinate that. Like we could be like, yo, let's take
I
mid
think he
control
just
with.
went there for info,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
yeah,
Just
I
be like,
could have
yo,
just done it. Yeah.
let's Phoenix ult, let's push 2 people with him. Because if he dies, it's easy trades and he just gets info. So it's like now you guys would have mid control here. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
instead
that's
you
true.
fall off. Which like, depending on how the round worked out, it might not have mattered, but that's still big. Who'd you kill? I say it's risky to leave B here because now they have mid control, and yes, they're going garage, but they could just walk up B and sneak out on somebody, which is what happened. But at least you did pick up on it. You thought about it.
Yeah.
But that could have screwed you over. So I think it's make sure you anchor. We're seeing a little bit of anchoring issues, but not too much. Well, not issues. You're doing. At least you're thinking about it. Your timing's a little off, but you have the right idea, so that's good. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Anything else you want to talk about on this defender side, really? Is there anything specific you want me to like look for? I know we're like almost
Nothing
done,
really.
but
No.
yeah,
I think
okay.
we covered a lot of the main issues.
Yeah, the main issues I think we're attacking. I'm trying to see how you hold angles too, but a lot of it hasn't really been angle holding. It hasn't been too much of it. You should have got closer with him for sure. Because you could have gotten the trade here.
Yeah.
And then instead, he could have killed you here. I mean, it's unlikely because of the way the angle worked, but it's possible. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, nothing. I don't really get a kill or do much in this round, so
I'm trying to keep focusing on the main questions you had because I could sit here and
yeah.
flood you with information, but that's just not going to do much because you're going to be like all over the place, and I don't want you thinking
Yeah.
about too much. I just want you to think about proper ability usage and like team play, which is what we're doing.
Yeah.
There's Jets going nuts on CT side. Jeez. Oh, that
Yeah,
was
she had
it.
like 2 collaterals and like 3 blinded
Oh, that's the
shots.
game.
And
Okay,
just
sick.
nuts. Yeah.
Oh, sick. Okay, cool. Well, perfect. So yeah, I mean, I think it was okay. You're not playing necessarily bad. You're just playing like it like it's a one person game. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you're
Yeah.
playing solo, and that can obviously backfire quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, any other questions? Anything else you want to talk about?
No, like you address a lot of issues that like, I didn't even like really think of.
Uh huh.
So good. So I learned a lot.
Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, if you have any other questions, anything else, you're feel free to message me. You can always do that. And then whenever you guys do like a little team review thing, I'd like to be there. If that's cool with you guys, of course, for like
Yeah,
just
for
like
sure.
15 or so minutes, just to see what you
Okay.
guys talk about, and I can obviously give you guys some direction because I think it's like I said, if you're focusing on too much and you're doing it improperly, that's bad. But maybe focus on one thing, like I said, like mid control or a push or
Okay.
whatever. That sort of a thing. So whenever you guys do that today, if you do, just shoot me a message and I
Okay.
can come out there and give you guys some advice and junk. So cool. Anything else?
No, that's everything.
All right, man. Well, take it easy. Like I said, just shoot me a
Thank you.
message.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And good luck out there.
Grinding.
You
Thank you.
what?
All right. I'm gonna keep grinding.
Yeah, you'll get there. You're on the right track. So just keep it up.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you, man.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. See you later.